Try to see it my way. Do I have to keep on talking till I can go on? While you see it your way, run the risk of knowing that our love may soon be gone.
Earlier this morning I vlogged a bit about my personal situation, which is that of a recluse. I don't want anyone to feel sad about this situation. I mean, I'm sad only because I'm trying to get over an emotional attachment. And one of the reasons I became a recluse was because of having to continually, throughout my life, spend because I would spend many, many hours of my life merely trying to get over the sadness at losing yet another emotional attachment. So I came to this decision that if I didn't make those attachments, I wouldn't have to spend a great deal of my time in life in sadness and despair over losing yet another person, human being. So I started to build a wall, an emotional wall between me and other people. Even having a dog, I had to, when I had my first dog, he was the thing that kept me alive, really, was who would take care of the dog. And with this dog, same thing. Last night I was laying there in bed and I was thinking, well, I could die now. You know, I could die and not commit suicide. I'm not talking about that sort of thing. I've been through that. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And I think, well, I can die now and no one will cry. There will be no tears. There will be no sorrow at my death. I'll just die, fade away, whatever, you know, and I won't cause anyone else the same emotional turmoil that people have caused me all my life. I don't know if other recluses do that, if that's the reason they become recluses, is because of the complications that human beings cause or not. I don't know if that's... This is very hard for me to make clear. This will be all choppy because I'll edit all this as I try to gather my thoughts about it. But Newt was like my last emotional tie to a human being. Yes, I have a tie to my dog. And when I was laying in my bed last night thinking about death and how, oh well, now I can die, you know, without causing emotional distress, the one thought in my mind, which is really quite strange, was that I hope I die on a Friday, because then John will come on Saturday. I won't have begun to rot, and my dog will not have to deal with, you know, a festering corpse. And that's the kind of odd thoughts I have about things. Newt had indicated that, when he wrote me back, that maintaining our friendship was a bit much for him. And at the moment that I heard that, of course, not wanting to be a burden on anyone in this life, I, you know, rattled back something to him about just, okay, fine, you know, I'll just be, then the Lord, other people on the internet, I'm just a thing they can switch on and off and not have any emotional tie to. And he blames me for him feeling uncomfortable, like I'm scrutinizing his actions, which is not the case, but that's the way he feels, and I'm not going to negate those feelings. I do think that if you're going to have a relationship with another human being, that it does take some maintaining. I've found that to be true in my own life, that if you don't make a conscious effort to maintain the relationship, it's much like any other thing that's living and breathing on the planet, it dies. So, I ended it. And now, there's no one in my life. John comes on weekends to feed the stray dog, and that's where I'm at. But sadness over it, for other people, no, that's not what I'm doing here. I'm trying to gather my thoughts about it, is all I'm doing. I'm trying to de-emotionalize it, so that instead of weeping and crying and feeling the way I did yesterday, I'm hoping that day by day I get a little stronger, can deal with it, because I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to die tomorrow, and I'm going to have to live with it. I try again to form any kind of real attachment to another human being. No, that was it for me. That was the last. Another thing that I just thought about is today is July the 4th. And usually on the 4th we would have a big family get-together, and we would have a barbecue, and my whole family, and they probably are going to do that today, I'm pretty sure. But I gave a birthday party in May for my sister Denise, and I realized after that party, and all the family showed up, and I realized after that party how much I dislike being with my family in large groups anymore. I can't handle it. Being in large groups has always made me nervous, but even more so now, because I have become so unused to being around people. And so I told my sister Millie that I no longer wanted to be invited or even informed about family functions, and that if the family wanted to visit with me, they know where I'm at. I don't leave the house. I'm always here. My phone, is there, so it's not like I'm difficult to find. And yet what's really, pretty interesting since that discussion is that no one has called me. No one. Not one of my family members has bothered to call or come by since May. And it's July. I think it'll be interesting to see how long it takes before one of them goes, wonder what happened to Aunt Wally. I guess I better call her. And I don't mind that. I really don't. It's just a fact of my life. And today I'm hoping that the pain of losing Newt will lessen some more, and day by day it will, and I will. Solitude to me is quite different than loneliness. Solitude is quite different. There is no loneliness attached to solitude, in my view. And so I'm seeking solitude. Even though I'm posting on the internet full of people. A very strange juxtaposition indeed.